You know, thank God my family was with me. It's not the best thing, is it? When you go, "Hi, Mom, I want to be a bass player." Oh, my little girl, oh God, you want to play in a bar? Jesus Christ, I'm calling your dad. I mean, you know. I grew up in a pretty musical family. I have two brothers. I'm the youngest of four kids. I have an older sister, who's the oldest. I have a brother who is under her, and another brother under those two, and then I'm the youngest. Everybody was musical when I was growing up in the house, including my mother, who played a little bit of piano, and my brother would always have his band rehearsals at the house. And ironically enough, this is my oldest brother. It was usually classical or jazz band or something like that. It was never rock, because my brother was a trombone player. And actually, he teaches jazz composition still right now. Great writer, great arranger. He was a great inspiration. I remember when I was young, I used to sit under the upright piano down by the pedal boards when they were doing the rehearsal, to kind of stay out of the way but just check out what they were doing. And we had a great music program at that time too in the high school that my brothers and sisters were already in, so it just seemed like a natural progression that I would do that. My first instrument was probably a recorder in elementary school. Then I went to bass pretty much right after that, because I have a brother who's 50 months older than me. And we were very competitive at that age, and he brought a bass home one day and told me not to touch it. So I thoroughly dived into it at the first chance that he turned his back, and started with every bass that he's ever had. I bought from him. He overcharged me for it, mind you. But I still get them for that, you know, starting from Gibson Rippers to EB0s to Sears basses. And I remember those days when you just so into it and so young, and you just love the wood and you just love the instrument, and it's just the best thing since sliced bread to have a bass. It's just an amazing thing. After that, and it was funny because when I was in, I remember my last year in elementary school, I talked my music teacher into letting me bring my bass into the class, since everybody else had a ukulele, because they were tuned the same and they had the same amount of strings, and she went for it. So after that, it was really cool. So I used to take my little Sears bass to music class with me. And from then, I went on to high school. And we had a pretty good program in high school. We had jazz bands, and I learned how to read and do classical. Started a little bit of acoustic, but really started baritone euphonium horn, playing that, which was nice. I like brass. I like playing all that Schubert and just playing the planets and all that stuff, and learning how to read parts. And still dealing with an instrument that was in the bass clef for me, so that's always been helpful, to learn how to read. That was a great thing. Having some other instruments to be able to put in your arsenal, or have it become your feel instead of just one thing. It's kind of like what even some bass players or instrumentalists say when they're trying to get inspiration, or trying to shed on playing or whatever it might be that they're doing. They don't necessarily always listen to the same players. Like bass players don't always want to listen to bass players soloing all the time, because I think if they did, everybody would sound the same. So sometimes they'll listen to horn players, or they'll transcribe guitar player solos and listen and see, because everybody's got I think a little bit of a different outlook on how to approach, or how they want to approach. Just being creative and trying to sound different. I think that's an important thing also. Like I was saying, school music for me was really important. It helped me It helped me play some different instruments. It helped me learn solfege and read music, which is something that I still do now from time to time, but that's another thing that I noticed from playing with more pop-oriented artists that I played with in the U.S., that reading was really not a necessity at all. And usually some of the best and the most prolific pop writers and R&B writers that I have met don't read at all. So kind of my foray out of school with all of that is when I was still in my late teens, I got involved in an R&B group that was an all-girls band in Montreal, and we had some fun, and we were pretty popular at that time. So it enabled me to make a little money and see that it was possible to support myself and get some performance under my belt. So that's kind of what I decided to do.